He is called Bonito, which means beautiful in Portuguese, and it suits him perfectly. Even after everything that was done to him, he still looks at the world with eyes that never lost faith in human beings. But Bonito's story is not beautiful. It hurts, and it will stay with you long after this video ends. If you are the kind of person who cannot watch a video about an animal in pain without doing something about it, you are in the right place. Subscribe to this channel and keep following real stories that matter. We do not look away here. Bonito lives on the streets of a small town called Pinheiros, in the state of Espírito Santo, Brazil. Nobody knows exactly when he arrived there or where he came from. He is a medium-sized dog, the kind that seems born to give love. Gentle in a way that very few dogs manage to be, even with so much pain built up in his body. And that might be the most remarkable thing about all of this. After everything that has been done to him, Bonito still lets people approach him, still wags his tail, still trusts. Dogs who live on the streets develop an incredible ability to read their surroundings. It is a survival mechanism. But that same openness is also what makes them vulnerable to people who mean them harm. And that is exactly what happened to him. What happened to Bonito was not neglect. It was not abandonment. It was deliberate cruelty, one act after another. A man in a wheelchair beat him. The blows were so violent they broke Bonito's jaw. A fractured jaw in a dog causes constant, devastating pain. He cannot chew properly. He is in pain when he tries to eat, when he tries to bark, when he tries to simply exist. But it did not stop there. Bonito was run over on purpose. This was not an accident. Someone steered a vehicle directly at him, intentionally. The result was a broken leg. An animal who could barely use his jaw now had a severely injured limb as well. Two major physical traumas in a body that has never received any veterinary care. When we talk about animal cruelty, we often picture neglect, someone who simply stopped caring. What happened to Bonito was different. It was a choice, more than once. And that needs to be said out loud. A woman who learned about Bonito could not stand by and do nothing. She traveled to Pinheiros, saw his condition with her own eyes, and made a decision. She wanted to adopt him, get him off the streets, give him a life of dignity far away from the people who hurt him. But to make that happen, she needed help. She needed someone in that town to look after him while the adoption was being arranged, someone to make sure he received veterinary care, some kind of basic support network for an animal with so many urgent needs. She reached out to local government. Nothing. She contacted animal rescue organizations in the area. The answers were the same everywhere. No capacity, no structure to care for an animal with special needs, no solution. The most painful response she received was that Bonito would be considered a dog with disabilities, and therefore could not be taken in. But he is not disabled. He was brutally injured by people. There is a profound difference between an animal born with a physical limitation and an animal who was tortured and carries the wounds of that in his body. Bonito was not born this way. People did this to him. And that distinction matters enormously. With a broken heart and nowhere left to turn, she made one final appeal. Can anyone help? Is there anyone in Pinheiros or the surrounding area who can find Bonito and make sure he is safe? The detail that is most striking about this story is not just the cruelty, even though it is real and needs to be named. What is truly remarkable is Bonito himself. An animal who was beaten, whose jaw was broken, who was run over on purpose, whose leg was broken, who lives on the streets with no medical care at all, and yet he is still described as gentle, still approaches people, still carries within him that quality that dogs have and that humans so often lose. The ability not to hold a grudge. Dogs do not process cruelty the way we do. They feel the pain, absolutely. But they do not carry hatred the same way. And that makes our responsibility toward them even greater. They trust us. and we need to be worthy of that trust. In the United States, animal cruelty is a federal crime under the Preventing Animal Cruelty and Torture Act, known as the PACT Act, and can result in serious federal charges. In Brazil, the law also provides for imprisonment of up to 5 years for those who abuse, mistreat, injure, or mutilate animals. What was done to Bonito is not just inhumane. It is a crime in any country. Bonito is out there right now, somewhere on the streets of Pinheiros, Brazil, while you watch this video. With a fractured jaw. With a broken leg. But still alive. Still holding on. And with someone who has not given up on him. There is a woman who wants to adopt him and give him everything he has never had. But she cannot do it alone, from a distance, without a support network on the ground in Pinheiros. She needs people who are in that city or nearby who can find Bonito, make sure he is safe, and help coordinate the urgent veterinary care he needs. If you have connections in Brazil, if you know anyone in the state of Espírito Santo, if you are part of any animal rescue network that reaches that region, now is the time to act. Share this video. Send it to people who live there. Post it in animal rescue groups. Tag anyone who might be able to help. Bonito's story does not have to end on the street, and you could be part of changing it. Subscribe to this channel and keep following real news and real stories. Have you ever seen an animal survive this much suffering and still choose to trust people?